We return here to the Bowden's collection with Dan, owner of Bowden's own car care products. Today we get the word on how to clean the inside of a car, including carpets and the best way to clean and remove stains on car seats. Dan, it's great to see you again.
Awesome to have you back.
Now, last time we were here, you took us through some fantastic tips on how we can look after the exterior of our car to make sure that it stays in pristine condition. How can you help us today to look after the inside of our cars?
What I'd love to show you is how to detail and clean the interior car, more so how to protect it, which is really critical in Australia's harsh environmental conditions. Now, when you're cleaning the interior of the car, the first thing I like to do is to actually get the vacuum, pull out the mats, give them a clean, and then run through the rest of the car while I got the vacuum there. Now, when you pull your mats out of the car, give them a quick little dust off, get all the heavier elements out of them before you give them a really good vacuuming. When you're using your vacuuming, run back and forth in one direction, then the other, just to get a really good clean on all the fibers. Another really cool thing is to actually have a vacuum like this. It's a wet and dry vacuum, really affordable nowadays. And what it's going to be for is because there's actually quite a bit of ingrained dirt into this, and we're going to do a little bit of fabric clean on it as well. So we'll give it an initial clean, and then we'll give it the deeper clean. Now for the deeper clean, get your fabric and upholstery cleaner, spray it into a really nice soft horsehair brush, spray a little bit onto the surface as well, just on these dirtier areas, and then rub it in. Just side to side motion. This is just enough to release all the dirt and that your feet and that have put into the mat. Now, while it's still wet, grab your vacuum cleaner and suck it all back up. And now we've vacuumed all the liquid out, all the hairs on the carpet are standing up tall, so they're going to dry a lot better. While we're waiting for this to dry, we're going to vacuum the rest of the interior. Now, with the crevice tool fitted to your vacuum, what you do, get in, all in around the seats, pull the little bits and portions back on the seat to get all the bits of sand and junk out of it. Also, pull the seat back so you can get more access in and around the seat. Now, another little cool tool to have is one of these round detailing brushes. What you do, you use it in little intricate parts that you can't get your vacuum into. Use it to pull out the dirt and dust and suck it right up into the vacuum. So give it a go here. So now we've vacuumed out the seats, the carpets, and all the other intricate areas on the car. What we're going to do is give it a quick little dust down. We're going to use our little round brush for around the vents and things like that and other intricate areas, but also we're going to use this plush towel. This side, the plush side, acts like a dust magnet. Just quickly run it over the top, collect all the dust, and we're going to move on to the next stage of the clean. So we've finished the dust wipe down to the car, and what you notice now is any little marks and that are on it. We've got some beautiful sunscreen over here and on the seat of the car. What we're going to use is our pH Balance All-Purpose Cleaner Orange Agent. We're going to spray it on, wipe it off, and pull it off while it's wet, and it'll all come off nice and easy. So when you're using Orange Agent, spray it into an applicator, spray a good amount. Don't spray it directly onto the surface. Gently wipe it over the surface so you got to clean. And just back and forth really slowly. It's critical to remove this product while it's wet, because what happens now, that sunscreen is suspended in the liquid. Wipe it off with the Dirty Deeds microfiber cloth, turn it over to a clean side, and that is how quick and easy you get rid of sunscreen marks. Now, this pH Balance All-Purpose Cleaner is also used to remove any sweat and grease off your door trims or anywhere else you touch in the car. Likewise, we use it on the dash to remove any older base silicone products, and it's the same process again. Spray it into it and gently wipe it across the dash. Again, small sections at a time, and pull it off while it's wet. Now, one thing you have to monitor is the dirt buildup you actually get in the pad. Now, you can turn the pad over to a clean side when you monitor a bit, but when it's all actually filled up, what you do is just give it a quick clean out in a bucket of water. Now, with your bucket of clean water, I like to put a barrier guard on the bottom of the bucket. And the reason is when you've got your little pad, you can actually rub it on the bottom and give it a good clean. Wring it right out, just so it's damp. Look at that, all clean, ready to go again. So the deep clean's all done, but it leaves a really stark finish and no protection. So what we do, Vinyl Care for all your dash, trims and bits and pieces, and let's get into it. Now, the one thing you notice in all these modern cars on the vinyls and all the plastics, it's not a shiny surface. Go to any new car dealership, you'll notice it. And what it's about now is bringing a product in that'll actually restore the darkness to it and give really good UV protection. So the way we use this one, the Vinyl Care, we spray it again into the applicator and then apply it to the surface in a side-to-side motion. Now it's already been deep cleaned with the orange agent. Because this is a water-based, silicon-free formula, it's not going to fisheye up and it's going to leave a beautiful even surface. So small section at a time, and of course while it's still wet, a low pile cloth, microfiber cloth, and just gently buff it off. And this way you get a nice even finish. This cleans it, rejuvenates that look, but it also gives it really good UV protection, which is another very important thing for dashes and that on the car. Now the inlays in this seat are actually made of Alcantara or micro suede. It's a synthetic material. Now a lot of people are scared of it. The important thing to remember is any product you're using has to be water-based. You can't use any solvent-based or alcohol-based cleaners on it. You can damage it. A couple of stains here, which are just about normal. You see on a lot of these seats. Pretty easy to remove with just the right techniques and the right products. What we're going to do is use the Fabricadabra, spray it into the pad and then side-to-side motion. Don't apply any pressure, because you don't want to be pushing the stain further into the surface, but back and forth, then turn it over to the dry side, back and forth over, then get your final dry cloth and just run it back and forth, and look at that, the stain's all gone. Our next step will be to actually run the vacuum cleaner over it to pull all the hair back up, and then we leave it to dry for about half an hour, and it's a perfect finish. Now with your leather cleaning, it's pretty similar to what we just did with the vinyl interior, but there's a couple of very important changes. Let's run through it. Now, leather used in automobiles nowadays, it's actually got a top coat of polyurethane, and that's what you've got to look after. Now, once again, the pH Balance All-Purpose Cleaner is ideal for the deep clean. Now, a lot of people think that leather's not dirty, but you'd be amazed what you can pull out. So, spray into the applicator again, and just section at a time, just rub it gently back and forth. Now this has perforated leather, so we don't want to be putting a heap of liquid onto it, but just small section at a time, and then critically as previous, you got to pull it off while it's still wet. Use our Dirty Deeds microfiber cloth, and just in a gentle swiping motion, pull it off. Always check if there's dirt in that, turn it to a clean side. You don't want to be transferring dirt back to the leather surface, so always turn often to a clean side of the cloth. Now the all-purpose cleaner has done a really deep clean on the leather. Being pH balanced, it hasn't damaged it, which is really critical. Now, the leather being polyurethane coated, you need a product that lets you condition the leather, leave that beautiful matte finish, but importantly, it allows it to breathe so it can rehydrate and it stays beautiful, soft and supple. We'll spray it into the applicator, get a few. It's a nice sudsing product. It has got a cleaning action to it, but it's very subtle and it smells like beautiful rich leather over the whole bottom of the leather seat. Really important to focus on the stitching. Once you're all done, go to the low nap side of your towel and again just wipe it and wipe it all off, and what it does, it leaves this beautiful matte finish. Leather should never be shiny, always be satin or matte finish, and that's critical that your product leaves it that way. Okay, now after we've done the cleaning conditioning, we then go on to protection. When we talk about protection, what it's for, the leather guard, is for actually wear. Now, every time you hop in and out of your car with your clothes on, you actually wear out a little bit of the top of the leather. With a product like this, puts a little bit of protection on there and it minimises this happening. Now, because both these products they're built to be compatible, you can actually use the one applicator. Just wring it out in your bucket once more, get it so it's just damp, then spray it, of course, directly in, never spray it directly onto the surface. Now, when you're applying the leather guard, you'll notice it goes a little bit further. Just work on these high wear areas, all your seat bolsters, all the sides and that, anywhere where you have high wear in and out of the car. Then of course, while it's still wet, pull it off with a dry towel. And that's it. Looks, feels beautiful like brand new, smells amazing as well. And you do this routinely about once a month and it'll keep your leather like new. Now, another important part that a lot of people forget to clean are your seat belts, and it's a simple one. Water-based fabric cleaner, spray it into a towel, Get enough in there, and then pull your belt out and simply wipe it back and forth. And this will give it a really nice safe clean, and it won't damage any of the fibres in the belt. Now for our last act, we're going to do the glass. Now the glass cleaner, we use a big softy towel, and it's not just good for glass, it's also good for a lot of the hard and shiny trims that are interior your car. You do them last in case you've got any overspray or anything on them. Brings up a wonderful finish. Now when you're doing your glass, it's a really simple task. It's never a dark art to get it right. All you need to do is spray your glass cleaner, make sure it's ammonia free, just 3 sprays into the towel, and then apply it to the glass. East-west, north-south, fold it to a dry side, and you get an absolutely perfect finish. Run around, do all your glass, then get a separate towel, come in and finish off on all the plastic trims. Now for all these shiny trims on the interior, just 2 little sprays into your cloth, and then apply, and cleans off any old residues in that. Turn it over then to a clean side and buff it off. Beautiful, like new perfection. And the way I always love to finish detailing interior, I get my favourite deodorizer, just spray a couple of sprays into the carpet, and it leaves that beautiful fresh smell. So what do you reckon?
Thanks, Dan. With our car doubling as the weekend taxi, I sure know what it's like to have a car full of dirty kids after sport. These tips are great, and this car sure looks ready for the next weekend adventure. Car interior cleaning protects the condition of your car, and it's made simpler and easier with the correct products and right techniques. Happy driving!